Hey, my friend. So I want to share a story about you. Story about, hello. I want to share a story for you. Hello, I want to share a story for you about me. It has to do with you can change anything as long as you find the meaning you're giving it and change, like create a new meaning, a new story, right? It's really like, what's the story? Because, well, let me tell you the story. Okay. Probably 20 years ago, I was married. And my husband and I were in massive financial just crisis, right? And he would make the money, but then had no responsibility for anything else. So he got the check and I paid all the bills. And when there was not enough money, I then took the hit. I was the one that would always be worried about it. I would be like, oh, but what if we don't have enough? Or what if we go in bankruptcy? And his idea was like, so he literally would drop the money off and just take no emotional responsibility. So I'm having the experience now of just like wouldn't even want to look at my bank accounts. Like I would have a literal panic attack having to go in and open my account to see the money or the lack of the money there. It was terrible. So I was getting wired, right? I was wired like money is stressful, it's horrible, it's scary, there's not enough. Oh my God. And I was so like, I can't even tell you how hard it was, right? Because I didn't have a partner that would even be in a conversation with me. He was just like, yeah, so what? We lose our shit. And I'm like, we have little kids. Not a good idea. Okay, so this one day he comes home and I think we're sitting in the living room and he goes, okay, um, if I tell you something, you gotta promise you won't be mad. Well, hello. Whenever anybody says that to you, you're like, oh hell, what's coming next? And so what he told me was this. He said, I was gambling and I hit really big and have a lot of money, but I didn't know what to do with it because then you would know I was gambling if I put it in the checking account and I didn't know what to do. So I put it in a grocery store plastic bag and it's under my seat that in the car he never locked. For weeks he's been carrying around all this money. He goes, so I figured I should tell you. I'm like jaw dropping. I can't believe he's literally driving around with thousands of dollars in a plastic grocery bag in an unlocked car. Um, and then he gets it, and he comes in and he takes a grocery bag and he dumps it on the couch. It's $17,000 in bills. And I had the weirdest reaction because remember, money was killing me. Money was creating so much stress in my body, so much stress in my life. I was in like the worst place, right? And I looked over there, and this $17,000 in small bills is pretty tall, right? It's a lot of 20s, or a lot of 20s. And I looked over across where all this pile of money was. And I had this moment that was so startling because I was like, wait, that's just a pile of paper. Like literally, there's just little pieces of paper. And yet I've been giving my life energy to this. I have been making myself sick over this. I've been giving those pieces of paper so much freaking meaning to destroy me. And it was such a weird, like, you know, it's just paper. And so that's what I want to challenge you with, right? We all have stories. We have stories of it shouldn't be that way. We have stories of like that's a horrible thing. Or we have stories of I could never, ever. And so, in the 12-step programs, there's a phrase that says you're only as sick as your secrets. And I'd say you're only sick as your stories. We suffer when we create stories. We suffer when we hold on to the stories. And I mean the stories like this shouldn't be, wait, this is bad, that was horrible, nobody should ever do this, right? Those kinds of stories. And so it's just my little teaching today of what if it could work out differently? What if you could create a different relationship? I went on to, strangely, a number of years later, I actually did end up going bankrupt. But through those things, especially this, that when I went bankrupt in 2010, I have a whole other different story with money. I gotta tell you. But it was shocking seeing that my story was creating my suffering. So that's the invitation. And if I can support you creating new stories, I would love to do that. And if you feel like commenting below, like, do you have any stories that you have shifted? That's the thing. How do you shift the story? What's the new narrative that you are like, oh, that's much better. I like that one better, right? And so that was my teaching for today. Peace and blessings, and I hope you have a great one.